Star Wars game from Respawn, engaged in turn-based tactical combat with a new Star Wars game called Star Wars Zero Company. Join us at Star Wars Celebration on April 19th for a panel with Bit Reactor, Respawn, and Lucasfilms, where we'll share a world-exclusive first look at our new game. So April 19th will be the first full review, which is just a few days away. That's on this Saturday, basically. It's a tactical game. So think Baldur's Gate, XCOM, that type of shit. Here's the first look with the art. Looks like we're going to have some type of Jedi character. The art looks cool. I like the name, Zero Company. I am curious to see what they're going to do to make it different in terms of turn-based. Maybe the website will give us some info. And it looks like it doesn't. Like I said, tune in on the 19th. It will be coming to PC, PS5, and the Xbox Series. I feel like it's such a hard genre to innovate, but one way I feel like they can take a page out of Baldur's Gate 3. What made Baldur's Gate 3 so fun to play as well as watch is there was an infinite number of choices. Like everybody who watched my stream said everything that I was doing, they never saw in their playthrough because there were so many fucking choices that affected the game. To do that in the Star Wars universe, man. Do that in the Star Wars universe. Give us some new cool characters. Maybe even get some cameos from characters we've never seen before. I don't know how you can innovate the tactical side of things, but this is Respawn, for those unaware, making the game, the creators of Apex, Titanfall, as well as the Jedi Fallen Order series. If anybody can do it, I'm going to trust Respawn. I wish they would have made a Holo Tactics game, but nah, it's not going to be Holo Tactics. We were supposed to have that Outlaws. BG3 made me more open to turn-based. Also, that upcoming game, Expedition 33, looks dope. I think turn-based games, as the average medium age of gamers goes up, I believe turn-based games will make a strong comeback. Because what makes turn-based games fun is you can pause it at any time. Like literally, or you can just put the controller down when you're in the middle of combat because it's turn-based. The game isn't going to move until you take your turn or the enemy takes his turn. So I think it appeals to like older people, like the slower pace, you know, versus like multiplayer games. You kind of have to always play at somebody else's pace, which can be annoying. After playing BG3, Midnight Suns, and Divinity Original Sin, I'm excited. I wish I would got around to playing Midnight Suns. That game looked all right. They announced that Toho is working on a new Godzilla game. I'm praying for it. There's a new comic book coming out, The Hulk versus Godzilla. I think it comes out on Wednesday, issue number 1. I'm going to get that one. That should look fire. Still need a Legend of Dragoon sequel. I agree. But if you like Expedition 33, if you like Legend of Dragoon, Expedition 33 might be up your alley because it definitely borrows a lot from Legend of Dragoon. Destiny should let Respawn just do Star Wars Eclipse and bring some positivity back. Metaphor was a hit, so you're right about it. Metaphor was a hit. So it sucks. I saved it. I didn't check the website before. I thought the website was gonna give us some info. I was gonna read with it. We don't got any info, but we do know they're gonna fully reveal it on Saturday. I'm not streaming Saturday, just like I'm not streaming for fucking Marathon. So I guess we'll talk about this next Monday when they fully reveal the game. I'll save the reaction and kind of the feedback. But I'm not gonna lie. Respawn hasn't dropped a bad game. They've dropped banger after banger, so I'm going to trust them. They're one of the best in the business. Apex was a banger. Its current state, obviously, its live service is going to die off. The Jedi series is fucking bangers. Titanfall, bangers. So like, and then also keep in mind, Respawn is also the original creators of Call of Duty. So, the Modern Warfare series, bangers. They have never dropped a bad game, in my opinion. They need to drop Titanfall 3. So I'm going to trust that they're going to do something cool with this type of format. I took my nephew to see the Minecraft movie for his birthday, and they yelled chicken jockey and destroyed the whole theater. They did it at yours too? I know you was pissed. Welcome to the stream. I know you was pissed. Random question, but have you played Nier Automata? I have. Wasn't my cup of tea. I like the action in Nier, but I felt like the navigation was terrible. When it comes to Platinum Games, I'm always going to be a Bayonetta type of guy. Wait, do you think they'll tie in the Jedi series somehow? I didn't even think of that. That'd be fucking gas. We don't know the timeline of this. These look like all new characters. I haven't seen anybody here. Maybe this is a clone trooper, like a retired clone trooper, but these look like all new characters. Is this a Jedi? I don't. Usually the green saber means Jedi, right? That'd be fire if we got a cameo from fucking Cal Kestis. That'd be fire. But I wouldn't hold my breath on that. I heard the guy that plays Daredevil in the MCU's an Expedition. He is. This could be a tie-in also. That'd be gas if there was some type of tie-in. Maybe there's like a mission where Cal Kestis pops up and he joins you for that mission in your team and you get to control him and like his abilities. That'd be gas. He doesn't need to be there the whole game. Just give us like a mission or something, a cool little cameo, and maybe even a hint of what's going to happen in the next game. Because if you did not play Jedi Survivor, the ending to that game was fuego. It's going to be a long wait for that third game. Yeah, the Clone Trooper. Yeah, that's a Clone Trooper, but didn't go through Order 66, and I think that's the female Mandalorian. Oh, I didn't even peep. Yeah, that is a Mando right there. Yeah, this story could be fire. This could be a Jedi that maybe survived Order 66, as well as a Stormtrooper that didn't kill anybody, and then we got a Mando over here. But this guy gives me main character vibes. I'm sure all the go woke go broke people will be happy because it looks like the main character is going to be a grizzled white man with a beard. He doesn't have a beard. He has a porn stash, but it looks like grizzled white men are back. They're fucking back. I was trying to warn my brother about the weirdos, but we ended up walking out. It was that specific demographic, though. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have walked out too. That would have pissed me off. I'm not like the Karen type. I'm really not the type to complain, but I'm not gonna lie. If I went to go see the Minecraft movie and I took my kids and they threw popcorn all over the theater and I would walk out and probably ask for a refund. Like, nah, we're not dealing with that. Nah, the cover art is too diverse. It's still woke. I mean, first of all, what kind of nigga is this? I mean, Star Wars is full of fucking aliens and diversity. You about to be locked in, Logio? He probably used to be a Jedi. Could be, yeah. Lava Chicken. Looking forward to it Saturday. What else we got? Oh yeah, this is the article, the new prototype shit. I was talking about this earlier. New prototype game in the works, playtester claims. A new prototype game is reportedly in development, according to a user on Reddit by the name of Bigby. They were given details about a new game in the series as part of a recent study group session. The user claimed that the game will see Alex Mercer return as the protagonist. So I'm sure all the grizzled white men out there that hate wokeness will be happy. The black guy will not be in it. Alex is back. The stoic, gritty, edgy white man that was Alex Mercer. Gameplay will reportedly feature shape-shifting and transforming into other people in order to infiltrate areas. And lastly, it will be based in New York City. Insider Gaming reached out to Bigby regarding these claims and was told the following. It was YouGov's survey which asked me to sign an NDA and confirmed that I would not disclose the contents, they said. It then confirmed a series of features that upcoming games will include and how popular this was with the percentage-wise. It was not a playtest, but did specify that these features were already planned. All right, so this nigga, I talked about this earlier. Is this like a Gen Z, Gen Alpha thing? What is with you niggas incriminating yourselves? I'm going to read again what that says. I did a survey that asked me to sign an NDA and confirmed that I would not disclose the contents. Then he proceeds to reach out to Insider Gaming and spill the beans. I hope this nigga's using a fucking VPN, because if they got your Reddit name, they can find you if you're using an IP address. This is crazy, man. Can y'all stop this? Just no comment, just for a look. Oh, I'm gonna get an interview. Like, they're gonna get what the fuck they want out of you because this is what their job is, but you could get fucked over. Insider Gaming is yet to fully verify the validity of these claims, but it felt it was a rumor worth covering. As always, until it's verified by Insider Gaming with more details are officially announced by Activision, take all information with a grain of salt. So let's pretend like this is a real thing. It's not confirmed. Let's pretend like it is a real thing. Are we excited or are we not excited about Prototype? I was a Prototype fan, so I would look forward to this game. I liked the series. I thought it was a very underrated open world action game. Very silly, just jump around, blow shit up. It felt like almost like a Hulk Ultimate Destruction sequel for the Xbox 360 era. I'm hyped. I'm excited. I'd be down, especially with the graphics nowadays, the open world. There's more things to do. Just a game to be silly and blow shit up. Is this a remake? I thought Alex was dead. Well, there's no confirmation on whether or not the game is even real. So there's no way to know. It could be, because that is a valid point. Welcome to the stream, Glowlux. That is valid. It's all rumors. I like the first and the second, but should have died after the third would be great. It was the same studio that made Hulk Ultimate Destruction. I did not know that. That makes sense why it plays like Hulk Ultimate Destruction. That makes sense. There's a new Star Wars show coming. That makes sense. But I hope this rumor is true. This is one of those games that Activision is sitting on. One of the powerful IPs that they have. Another reason I hope that is true is because this is owned by Activision, which means there's a 99% chance that it would come to the Game Pass for free. Ladies and gentlemen, we like free games. Remember, Microsoft owns them. So if it comes back, that'd be gas. All right, what else we got? Let me check out this new Star Wars joint. Tales of the Underworld.
Just
I'm gonna get to you. I didn't forget about you.
Never can be too cautious with strangers out here. Then again, you're no stranger, Lady Ventress.
She's back, guys. Lady Ventress.
We got a problem here.
Just saw him right in.
What up, Joan? May 4th, may the 4th be with you.
What's the situation?
Oh shit! Didn't this dude appear in Jedi Survivor? I think he's a mercenary, right? I think he appeared. Or where did I see him at? I might be thinking somebody else.
He was your best friend. Things have changed.
You took everything from me.
He was in the Book of Boba Fett. This guy, I know it's from somewhere.
Lead assassin. I don't want that life anymore.
Not all aliens look alike.
Bane? No one needs to die.
Truly, nobody stays dead in this series. Blue bounty hunters.
Get them.
You're gonna pay for what you did.
This revenge. I hope it was worth it.
It will be.
It looks good. Is this like the other one they did with what was the series they did a couple years ago? I remember there was an episode with Count Dooku, and it kind of planted the seeds of why Count Dooku started to lose trust in the not the rebels. What do you fucking the government that they work for? Tales of the Jedi. Yeah, is it like that? They're like short form joints. Because that shit was pretty fire. I enjoyed that. If it's like little short form cartoons, I like that. I didn't like the Hisoka episode. They did all that shit with that one dude, and then he showed up. She was in hiding, and then she just beat his ass in 30 seconds, like in 5 seconds, I mean, or whatever. Like, I was like, damn, can we get at least a good fight? Like, the anthology. I'll watch this. I will watch this. This looks gas. Yeah, he got popped like a balloon. I think he was like, was he a wolf or something? I don't know. The Senate and the Jedi Council. Yeah. It's too much nerd shit. I can't keep up with everything. But yeah, I'll watch this. This looks gas. May 4th, I will be watching that. But a bit of Bad Batch wasn't that bad. I hadn't watched that. Too much fucking Star Wars, man. I can't keep up with all this shit. Yo, shout out to K-Bear with the sub. Star Wars animation is better than live action. Recently, I would agree. I would 100% agree. I appreciate you with the link on that one. What's this Netflix Toph shit? Let me see. Avatar Netflix will make live action Toph more feminine. Exclusive. Many won't be fans of the newest change of the Avatar. Hold up. Maya X Toph being older won't be the only. Wait, she'll be older? Why? Would change the Netflix Avatar's last Airbender to make this character. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm not. Toph is my favorite character. Toph is my favorite character in the series. I'm not gonna lie. If they fuck this shit up, I'm gonna stop watching it. Like, I've even thought about it. Like, if I had a daughter, like, would I name her Toph? Like, I love this character. Netflix's live action adaptation had mixed reaction from fans. Yeah, it was pretty mid. Regarding its changes to the animated series, specifically with some characters. For example, the live action series portrayed Katara as more timid and insecure than her animated counterpart, which was true. Toph's new actress, Maya Sek, recently revealed some changes to her character, like the earthbending prodigy being a little bit older due to her casting. However, this newest change with Toph might not go over well with fans. In an interview with the Direct on the red carpet for Marshmallow, a sci-fi horror film about campfire stories coming to life, Maya Sek was asked of how her portrayal of Toph in the Netflix Avatar Last Airbender would differ from the animated series. Sek reaffirmed changes like Toph being a little older, but she also confirmed that the Earthbender will be slightly more feminine in the live action series. My version of Toph is going to be a little older and slightly more feminine. I feel like I wanted to work into a very humanizing space for her because, you know, she was a cartoon. So her being blind wasn't humanizing and having to deal with people making fun of her, but she still overcame it. That wasn't humanizing. Like, she's a tomboy. Like, it just is what it is. Like, there are girls, like, I'm pretty sure we all grew, I mean, in my neighborhood, I grew up with tomboy girls. Like, she was a tomboy. Like, I don't understand what the issue is. Sek also mentioned how she had met with Toph's original voice actor, Michaela Jill Murphy, and how both of them have a very similar take in terms of process with the character. I've met with Michaela, who plays the voice of Toph, and I feel like we both have a very, very similar take in terms of process. Toph grappling with her femininity isn't a completely foreign concept, as the original anime series briefly touched on it. Right, yeah, with like this episode where they had her like dressed up, but she still was who she was. Did they even watch the show or read the books? Yeah, like, I don't know about this. Like, I like that she was just a badass. Like, she wasn't what it was. And I also said too, I'm gonna take issue with the live action version if they don't make any blind jokes. That sounds terrible. But like, what I liked about the show is she was handicapped, but they treated her like a fucking person. There was a message there. She was like, no, I don't want to be fucking babied. I liked that about the show, bruh. What up, Lupin the Third? I'm glad we killed the show. Didn't Toph hate it being in a dress? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't get it, man. It depends. I gotta see this play out. But if they show up and she's just like super girly, I'm gonna be like, that's not Toph. Might have to turn this show off. I don't know. That would make it historically accurate. She clowned herself several times while being yeah. Katara was roasting her every time. The first season, if you didn't watch it, it was pretty mid. It was like a 5 or a 6. There were some really, really bad sections. There was some stuff that was decent too. The show is better than the movie. That movie, M. Night Shyamalan will have to pay for his fucking crimes, what he did with that movie. My name is Ong. Nigga, you made a movie about Avatar: The Last Airbender and you couldn't get his name right? Nobody stopped to pull the show up and see that his name is pronounced Aang. They say it all. My name is Ong. If you've never seen the movie, please. We don't talk about that movie. That shit was fucking crazy. At this point, we're waiting for the new Avatar animated series. Right. These Netflix writers are extra. They have the blueprint. Yeah. This is one of those things like, yo, just follow the show, guys. Just follow the show. We'll see how it plays out. I'm going to keep an open mind because, to be fair, I mean, the MCU changed a lot of things from the comic books and it ended up working out. Like, sometimes you do have to change things for the movie or the show to modernize it or make it work within like a script. So as long as the change is cool, like, whatever, I'm not going to bitch about it. I'm not one of those type of nerds. But if it's really bad, we're going to let them know though. Yeah, they're failing an open book test. I don't know. I like the sound of this chat. I see why the creators bounced. That's right. The creators did bounce, but they are working on the cartoon, right? With the twins. Hell, even the Last of Us TV show is better because the Last of Us TV show pretty much follows the game to a T, with the exception that they fleshed out a few extra things. I think that's what makes the TV show good. They took the game and they followed it, and then they added some things to flesh it out even more. So it gives something for people who've never seen the series before, but it also is something there for people who've played the games. Versus this, it just feels like, oh, we're gonna take this really popular thing with a really hardcore rabid fan base and do whatever the fuck we want. And I think that's disrespectful. You could change things, but you got to be respectful to the source material. Otherwise, they're gonna get a lot of. And I feel like Toph is a fan favorite character. I don't feel like I'm the only one that feels like people love this character. That one scene where Sokka was bumped into Toph. Watch where you're going. Oh wait, yeah, I want to see lots of blind jokes, man. Lots of blind jokes. Yeah, Hollywood just stinking it up, man. Speaking of stinking it up, isn't her being so young integral to her character? Exactly. So it'd be interesting to see how they flip that. Trump appears to backtrack on U.S. electronics tariff exceptions, but no one seems to know exactly what's going on. I'm not going to lie. Following the news cycle in the United States is becoming very exhausting. And the last time I checked, he put 145% tariff on China. Then he dropped the tariffs down for everybody for like 10%. And then he said the exception to the 145% tariff would be everything except for electronics, like your iPhones and your computers are cool. It went to 145. It went to 145. But I guess that's not true anymore. Here's today's article. U.S. President Donald Trump has effectively backtracked on the tariff exemptions announced last Friday, which indicated that some electronics like PCs would escape the country's 145% tariff. See, I'm not making this up. It went to 145. Writing on, it's like this nigga just wakes up and is like, just throws random numbers on the board or something. Writing on social media last night, Trump said that nobody is getting off the hook, and there was no tariff exception announced on Friday. Chinese electrical goods would simply now be placed in a different tariff bucket. Trump continued, concluding that the National Security Tariff Investigations would be reviewing the whole electronic supply chain. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has told ABC News that a separate semiconductor tariff was now planned. Exact details on what are to be determined. This country's a circus. It is. We need to have semiconductors. We need to have chips. We need to have flat panels. We need to have these things made in America, Lutnick said. We can't be relying on Southeast Asia for all the things that operate for us. The problem with that is most of the materials to create these chips come from Africa. It doesn't matter what you do. This is my issue with these niggas, man. Everything in the world that's made does not come from fucking America. We go to Canada for trees because they have an excess of trees in comparison to the rest of the world. A lot of rare minerals come from Africa. That's why they fucking colonized the goddamn continent. Like, what are we talking about? The best chips come from fucking Taiwan. You can't do anything about that unless you just annex the world. Like, what? Like, what are we talking about? So the solution is to be diplomatic, create allies, friendships, build business where I scratch your back, you scratch my back. It's that simple. Like, what are we talking about, bro? But legal. He's realizing the executive branch has very little pull and checks it. But this shit is crazy, man. What are we? This makes my head hurt, man. And you know what sucks too the most? I feel bad for like small business owners. Imagine being a small business owner. So when it comes to business, one of the key components to being successful in business is understanding there are a set of rules, right? Imagine being a business owner and the rules are changing not only daily, but almost on the hour. How the fuck do you make money if the tariffs was at 10%, then 3 hours later it's at 25, then 12 hours later it's at 145? Like, nigga, calm down. This nigga's goofy, man. I don't know, man. I don't understand, regardless of what side of the aisle you are on these issues. One thing about Americans is we like to make money. I don't know how you defend this shit, chat. I don't know how you defend it. This is not good for anybody. They're going to bring the manufacturing jobs back, bro. They're going to bring it back. You're going to get those they're going to bring back the rare minerals from fucking Africa just randomly that make the phones and the watches and all that other shit. They're going to bring that in the factory just randomly. That's not how shit works. Somebody's got to squeeze the orange, man. I don't know about this guy. I saw an article, a business owner that is afraid of his toys. Yeah, I saw that. That's saying, I saw the news report. There's a guy who produces toys for kids with special needs. And his bill went from, I think like 10,000 when he imported the parts he needed from China to make the toys. Overnight, it went from 10,000 off the tariff to 325,000, I believe. You're about to collapse this man's business, man. And I don't know about y'all, but me personally, I like mom and pop shops more than anything, man. It's just something about the atmosphere. Nobody want to go to Walmart, man. Fucking 6-foot pigeons in Walmart. Fucking hillbillies with their ass out and shit. Just saw an interview on CNN where the woman who owned a bike shop said she pays 75% more to import the stock she needs to her store, affecting how much she'll pay her workers. So where I'm going with this is they're talking about different tariffs for different parts inside of the goddamn computers, the semiconductor, the X, Y, and Z. Don't be surprised the fucking Switch costs like $650. That's the point I'm trying to make. This shit is getting weird. It's getting weird. That's y'all president though. Just giving you an update. Competition is getting obliterated. It's getting obliterated, man. I wish we could buy Chinese cars. If you take a look at the Chinese car market, you start to realize that capitalism shit is a myth, bro. because they won't let none of them cars come over here. You know why? It's because we can't compete with that shit. Shit is a fucking myth. Makes Tesla cars look like jokes. He's also flirting with deporting citizens. Well, actually, he did. Yeah, I saw that. The update, the dude
Your super chat is
from
deeply
Maryland.
appreciated. This money will go towards a 23andMe kit. I know I'm black, but I need a DNA test to reveal if I'm Taco Fall black or just Blake Griffin black.
Yo, shout out to Kane Snow with the $5 super chat. Did you hear about the China banning U.S. rare earth minerals? Very similar to the Black Ops 2 storyline. Yeah, we was talking about that earlier.
Stalking. I mean, following Sonic.
Yeah, for those who are unaware, there's a man that was kidnapped out of Maryland. Turns out he was an actual U.S. citizen, but they accused him of being an illegal. They kidnapped him from Maryland, and now he's in a detention center in El Salvador. And in the United States, for those unaware, we have this thing called due process, meaning if you're accused of something, first of all, you're presumed to be innocent until proven guilty. But if you're accused of something, you get due process, aka you need to go to court and then the jury decides what your future is, right? He didn't get due process. He just got sent to El Salvador in the middle of the night. Turns out he's an American citizen. And the Supreme Court, in a ruling 9-0, meaning every member of the Supreme Court agreed that he needs to be brought back to the United States. But now Trump and his goons are saying, oh no, why are you guys complaining? You guys don't want, they're still trying to demonize this American citizen as some illegal that we should fear, that's just tearing up neighborhoods, just straight lying on the man. But the Supreme Court ruled they need to bring him back. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of those things you should watch this story. This is one of those stories, I'm not gonna lie, if they don't bring that nigga back to America, it might get bad, because that's a problem. He's now we're entering a constitutional crisis, because that could not just happen to him, it could happen to you. We're talking about a fellow countryman that got kidnapped and sent to another country because they thought he was one of those dangerous illegals. It's not true. The Supreme Court said, bring him back. And he's like, I don't wanna. Yeah, it sets a precedent. It was a 9-0 decision. And that's crazy because like half of the Supreme Court are conservatives that Trump put on. Even they said, nigga, you're crazy. If he does not abide by that court order, we have a problem. We have a fucking problem. This is one of those things where it's like, nah, we can't ignore this shit. We can't. Yeah, a 9-0 is rare. We can't. This is one of those stories where I'm like, some shit might pop off, bro. Unanimous Supreme Court, so it's hard to do. So I hope they bring that man home. But I have a theory about that shit. I hate to go on a tangent. I have a theory about that shit. They don't want that nigga to come home. You know why? Well, there's two things. I think there's a possibility he might not be alive. Although today they said he is, but they're still not bringing him back. I think there's a possibility he's not alive. Or if he is alive, they don't want him to come back because then he can speak. Because if he starts talking about what's going on down there, so they don't want him to come back. So I encourage everybody, pay attention to that story. This nigga, we are reaching authoritarian. All these niggas, all y'all just saying, oh, I don't want to talk about it. Nah, it's getting a little spooky. I don't care what side of the aisle you on. This nigga's out of control. That's not presidential shit. Yeah, I was never suicidal. They might give that man a settlement. Also, they don't want him to come back. That too. They don't want him to come back for two reasons. A, he gonna start talking about what he saw. And B, that nigga's gonna get the fattest check from the U.S. government. As soon as my all 10 toes step foot in the United States, I said, I'm suing you. I would have a Joker smile on my face. You gonna get it? You gonna get it? I said, I need everybody. Whoever worked with Johnny Cochran, I need you on the team, bro. Me versus the United States. You gonna get this fucking L, bro. Oh my goodness. But jokes aside, because I'm gonna get off this topic. Look it up. Pay attention to that story. It's getting a little spooky. People's rights are getting violated. They're getting violated. And remember, that's how it starts. An injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. You got to pay attention to this shit. There's also some audio that came out that said that he wants to start deporting American citizens, and that's scary too. I mean, he's already done it with that one dude, but it's like, it seems like I could see a world where just because you disagree with him, he might try to deport your ass. I don't like that shit. What's his name? I believe it's Kilmar something. Hold up. But Kilmar Garcia. Yeah. If you want to look this story up. Who is Kilmar Garcia, the man ICE mistakenly deported to El Salvador prison? Here you go. I'm going to drop the link. Do your research. Do your research. Do your research. Oh, he said to build more super prisons to send home grown criminals. Yeah, and there was a few shares when Trump first got elected for private prisons that shot up. Niggas is getting contracts, man. It's getting a little spooky. Columbia University's on fraud watch. They're all on fraud watch. Sounds more like a dictator than a president. And that's why I said we're entering constitutional crisis territory. We have checks and balances for a reason. You don't listen to the Supreme Court. You're just going to do whatever the fuck you want. You're no longer president. You're now a dictator. This stuff matters, man. This stuff matters. Oh, they also barred an Associated Press from the White House when the Supreme Court said he couldn't. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm just hoping one day I wake up and get a notification. You know a notification. The notification that America's going to be okay. Oh, remember, T-Base, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. Oh, my goodness. What else I got? GameStop rumored allocation of Switch 2 units at launch are way below expectations. So not only will there be tariffs, but it might be hard to find a Switch, chat. Even if the Switch 2 is priced a tad bit higher than some people might have expected, I have no doubt that the upcoming console will sell like hotcakes when it launches. If you plan to pick up a unit from GameStop, we're talking specifically GameStop, you're in a long siege ahead of you in procuring one of its latest rumors in the real deal. While GameStop announced nothing, ex-user Nintendo claims that 100 Switch 2 consoles will be available per branch. However, this could be even less depending. Actually, you know what? I don't give a fuck. I think this is just for GameStop. So if you plan on trying to, I read this wrong. My dumbass. I read this wrong. I thought this was just for allocation period. Basically, what I'm getting out of this story is, because I read earlier they had like a warehouse of like 700,000 plus Switch 2s already ready to go. What I'm getting out of this is GameStop is last on the list to get Switch 2s to sell because Nintendo don't fuck with them. And it's cool because we don't fuck with GameStop either, nigga. So if you're looking to get a Switch 2, probably the worst place to look is the GameStop because Nintendo didn't give them a bunch. Probably it's best to go to Costco, Best Buy, probably the Nintendo's website. My bad. I read this article wrong at first. GameStop. And I'm not going to lie. I know the CEO of GameStop is pissed. Because for a store that specializes in selling gaming stuff, when a new console drops, that's prime time. That's prime time to get a nice boost in sales. This nigga, the CEO's about to miss out. Their store's already on the verge of collapse, but hey, at least you guys got more shelf space to sell chicken jockeys. Where's that Nintendo warehouse at? Nigga, I don't know. Hey, where that Nintendo warehouse at allegedly? They said they got one out there. We don't know. What else I got for y'all? Switch 3 rumors are starting up, and I'm already tired. I thought GameStop was perma-closed years ago. Nah, it's still available. It still sucks. Nintendo has spent the last few weeks providing us with a ton of information about the Switch 2, but I'm sad to say that's old news. The techie, businessy type of the worlds are already looking ahead at the Switch 3. While sharing his insights on the current strength of Intel's corporation stock, KeyBank Capital Markets research analyst John Vinn shared a small, and I mean brief tidbit about Intel potentially securing a contract to work on the next Nintendo console. We believe Intel has won the GPU gaming socket for the Nintendo Switch 3 first of all, we don't even know if it's a Switch 3. It could be something wacky and kooky and different. Vin said, referring to the company's much touted 18A semiconductor manufacturing. Who cares? Switch 2 is not even out. So you heard it here first on this stream. Yeah, it could be a 40S. Who knows? If they do come out with a Switch 3, there's potentially it won't be AMD. It'll be Intel, which could be a bad thing because Intel CPUs be blowing up, man. I prefer AMD, but I mean, we're like 10 years away from that. Who knows? At least 5+ years. But it sounds like Intel scored a contract, I guess. Is GameStop the next blockbuster? Probably. I'm not lying, I'm surprised they're still around. Every time I go into a GameStop, that should be dead. I just need that OLED Switch 2 by 2029. I think they should have launched with an OLED. But, they're not doing it just so they can launch one 2 years later. It's fucking annoying. Bro, my AMD chip been going 9 years strong, outdated, but still works. Hey, people was making fun of my last PC, but my AMD was going 6 years strong. It was still going. I missed the midnight releases. I've never been to one. But I believe y'all when y'all say they was fire. I believe y'all. And the last joint I got for you, I think it's a video.
So here's
oh yeah, this is in regards to what's that joint called? South of Midnight. Earlier in the stream, I mentioned they've moved away from Assassin's Creed since they can't talk shit about it since it's selling well and it's reviewing well, and now they're shitting on South of Midnight, which is unfortunate because one of the key arguments the go woke go broke people love to make is they say, oh, it's not that we don't like black protagonists in our video games, is this we're tired of seeing characters being switched from white to black. You guys need to make your own games. Well, they make a game starring a black character ingrained in Southern black culture, and they're still complaining. It's almost as if they're racist. So now that the game has came out, people like the game. They don't like the fact people like the game. And apparently people are buying the game just to leave negative reviews.
I just noticed. You must own this product to add a rating. This is just on Xbox. I don't know what the rating criteria is for anywhere else, but this is on Xbox. You have to own it to rate it. Stay with me. They bought the game just to review bomb it. They bought the game. I'm about to get it right now. That's why I'm on here. I'm about to, and I just saw this. They bought the game just to review bomb it. Let that sink in for a second.
Unemployed behavior, and this is on the Xbox version. You know they doing other shit. It was never about merit. It was never about merit. I remember like a month ago when I first started talking about certain stuff going on in the country, somebody in my chat was like, oh, but Trump says that he's going to change things to make everything about merit. That's the problem with DEI. I remember looking at that shit. I'm like, nigga, do you really believe? Yo, critical thinking is at an all-time low. Do you really believe it was about making a non-merit based world? They can't straight up say we hate hard R's. So they flip things and they dog whistles. They say, oh, it's about merit. No, it's not. It's about making sure niggas can't do X, Y, and Z, bro. That's why they sitting there and lie about shit. What game are they review bombing? South of Midnight. But the game is good. Most people who play it enjoy it. Where I likes it, man. Hey, we up to 600 viewers. God damn, okay. I think that's the first time. Well, no. Because whenever I do an event, I'll hit 1,000. But I think that's the first time I hit 600 just off streaming. So the stream continues to grow. Hey, hit the fucking like button. Get my likes up, chat. Y'all